They had a minimum that it had to be.
Yeah, match it. It was a 50.
No, they didn't, but they were willing, they, actually, one of them said to me, you know, you might stand a good chance. This fits in exactly with what we're looking for. And a small grant like this, we could, you know, do. And that's what I got all excited with.
Sure.
But we can't get it together in time. So, I just think that, I don't know, I'll just announce it and see if we can get some kind of committee together. But people who have a background in that kind of stuff, we could probably figure out a way to make a good presentation to the DEC. And whoever's funding it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's only for the future, right? All right. Did everybody read the code? Madam Jefferson, any comments? Do we want to adopt it next month?
Yeah, I do.
I do.
I changed the
It's
word.
very simple.
I changed the word.
Okay.
I read it over, and the word accessible wasn't really what I meant. Accessible meaning that, you know, we don't, you know, stay behind a locked door and not be accessible to people if they have something they want to talk about. But really what I meant was respectful. I think respectful is a better word.
Okay.
But I'm open to anything. If anybody feels anything should be changed, the word here and now, I just kind of, you know, wrote that quickly. But I would like to change accessible to respectful.
Respectful.
Once we open it up to everybody, there's something.
Can we adopt this as one of the policies?
As a policy,
Yep.
yes,
Okay.
anytime.
And then it gets added to
To our list of policies, yeah.
Because do we get or we sign as people come on? And they get
We'll have
elected?
copies of all of them in the July meeting, because they'll all be updated, all the dates, all the names,
Okay.
so you'll have a book.
That reminds me of something. Remember I wrote a key policy? What did is that somewhere?
I think it's in the book, I don't remember seeing it.
We never acted on it, so it's nothing, but I had written it just on the spur of the moment, only because the last time, the time before that, we had to rekey the building, and there was an issue of, you know, we had to spend money just because we had a change in elected officials.
Well, no,
So
that's
anytime we
not-
have an election,
We changed the locks because we didn't know anything.
well, that was the policy.
I don't know we
was.
would do that this
The
time.
policy says that people agree that, you know, whenever they resign or leave, that they return their keys. And if they don't, there'd be a, you know, they have to pay us $50 or whatever we decide. But it's just a policy so that we don't have to go through that scrambling thing, you know, hurry up, get a locksmith in and go through that for longer. So I just
We
think.
can add that to July too, the policies, right?
Yeah, it's a standard, but we didn't have it, and we had to rekey, so I just think it's something to do. I'll send you, if you don't have it,
I have it.
you can. Okay.
There's a section of state law that requires former officials and appointees to return property, public property, so it would fall under that. I'll give you the code section, and then you could cite it in your policy.
Okay.
Okay. Recording of the meeting. So we've had a couple of residents that, well, we had a complaint at the planning board meeting about it being recorded, but that's not even here nor there. We've had residents that are interested in seeing the recordings of the meetings, but they feel they're horrible. They can't hear them, they can't see them, it's Felicia's papers moving around. And they would like us to talk about getting them professionally copied and put up on the website so they can watch them. And I'd like to look into see how much that's gonna cost, and if it's not gonna be that much, I don't think it's that big a deal to do.
So what is available to, you know, other places do it from, is consider doing is streaming. You know, there's streaming, and then the stream you can record, becomes a digital record, and can also be put on the website. So those two, I'm very familiar with the services.
Shelter Island does it, don't they?
Yeah, and villages now do it too.
Yeah.
So I can let you know the villages that do this, and then would be available.
Patchogue, I know, is doing it.
Now, are they doing it for just trustees meetings or for every, like, you know, planning board, board of appeals?
It depends on how big the village is. I mean, the village of Patchogue is gigantic. So they do it for all their meetings. Their planning board meetings are all commercial, residential. Port Jeff doesn't do it for planning and doesn't do it for zoning. They only do it for their board meetings. So.
So we're talking about an outside
Company.
vendor coming
Well,
in and
you
for
can do it-
evening.
You can do it two ways. You can do it with a laptop. If somebody just brings a laptop to the meeting, we can officially we could do it. I don't mean for the be 20 laptops here. I mean, but we could do it as a village, you know. And there's a service there's a free service you can sign into. Depending on how many people you think that are going to be using it, from the outside, how many people are going to be viewing it, you have to let the service know, you know, with the bandwidth that you need. But it's fairly easy to do. I mean, I've done this several times in other villages, so it's fairly easy to do. I know I've already gone over the learning curve, so I can tell you how to do it and stuff. I can also tell you that I was at a meeting a month ago where you can tell how many people are watching it. And the meeting had 12 people watching it, and 6 of the 12 people were people in the room, including me, that were watching it during.
See how they look?
And out of the other 6, 3 of them were my family. So there was 3 people from the public.
Well, I think it's you know, I've spoken to residents who watch those, and they're very informative, and I think it's a good thing. And if we can improve the quality of it, that's fine. The way you're describing it doesn't sound like such a big deal, and therefore wouldn't be such a big expense. If we're talking about professional videographers coming in to do.
Well, you think it's 1980, yeah, they come in with.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, but their labor, their time, we're having a representative of some company here, even if they're standing here with their arms folded, just because they.
Well, that's what we'll look into.
Okay.
We can get to that price.
It's
Could we
all about
just
the
buy
expense.
a decent machine,
I don't know. I
And
don't know what the
record
answer
it?
is, I just said I would look into it.
you know, put the machine right there and record it?
I remember back in 2000, 2001, when I was first on the board, Joe, remember you'd set up a recorder at every meeting.
Yeah.
We wouldn't start till Joe had the recorder going.
You know, we got out of that was garbage because everybody was talking in the background. You never heard a damn thing. Because I kept going back over to hear something that was said on the table and couldn't get it because everybody was
Well, just
yakking.
audio is not,
No,
it
I
doesn't
know.
cut it. So if we,
Audio, video is totally
yeah,
different.
and
That's
then
what Joe's talking about.
if you want to YouTube and not have a video, it's just cut it. So we, you know. have
So
a video.
I'll get the information that I have and I'll circulate it to you. I'll provide it to you, then you can take your pick as to what you want to do.
Okay. Anyone has anything else? Bring up the-
Inspectors or what?
That's gonna be a thing next meeting.
Okay,
So.
all right, good.
Oh, did you want to bring that up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had a lot of people, about a dozen now, want to put in a fire pit down at California Beach. Would be back in the area where, when we have fish fries and whatnot, that it would be put in by the volunteer, you know, by the people that want it. It's not very expensive, they're about $300 for the stones. And I've had, you know, people sit down and say they'd like to be able to sit around and talk and whatnot, and just,
You talking about the corner under the trees?
there's water there. It would be contained.
Of the big.
First of all, what is our liability? If somebody uses a fire and they don't put it out?
Well, I don't think that the people that are asking for it would sit down and not, they just walk away and leave it burn.
Yeah, but once it's down, anybody could use it, right?
Yeah, anybody could use it. It wouldn't be restricted to you or me or
But
anybody.
I'm just saying that, you know, it's a liability if it's ours and somebody burns the trees. So at the very least,
I don't think in a, you know, in a small fire pit that's, you know, this high or whatever, maybe a little higher, you know, and you put it, it's stone, it can't go anywhere. Certainly not gonna burn up to the trees.
well, we have an ordinance that says that they have to be covered, right?
I don't know if that's in there, it says it has to be contained, I believe. Doesn't say it has to be.
I know we talked about it, I don't know if maybe it's code, but yeah, we did. Remember down the beach and you have to have a cover to it. So if the thing is there, and the cover's there, but they don't put the cover on it, then you have sparks and stuff going in it, so.
So then you put a cover on it.
Well,
You know, that's like saying, you're gonna drive your car down the block, who's gonna speed? You know, people.
all right, well, I'm just saying, I'm not against it, I'm just saying these are issues that we need to explore, just like with the dock and others.
So do you want for
What's
next
the
meeting?
liability, what is it gonna cost us additionally,
Okay.
you know?
Well, there's no cost to the village. 'Cause the
No,
people-
it would be, I know you were saying insurance cost, correct?
Insurance
Okay.
wise, okay, well, I mean, if the
It
dock,
can't be more than that, that's only $75 a year.
so, you know, I don't see that could be very expensive. it's probably covered under whatever we have now. I mean,
Okay.
we have, if we're
Right.
cooking down there, you know, it's,
Could I also ask that we get some input from the fire department as far as the local site location? That's what they do well, so give them that. That's a cozy corner back there, but it's under all those trees.
yeah, but those trees are, I can drive my truck underneath it. It's, you know, it's not like they're hanging down over the fire.
Alright, so we'll look at that for next meeting. Okay, anything else? Can we go into executive session when we're here or no?
Yes.
Okay, so I would like to go and make a motion to go into executive session for legal advice.
Second.
What's the
Going on?
reason for?
It's to get a
I'm not advised.
consult with attorney. So did we just have a vote, a second and a vote?
Yeah, oh, I guess all in favor? Okay,
Who's second?
Harry did.
All right.